Yeah, I'm trying to share it to my audience, and like I'll erase some things. So like, give me a minute
Oh,
so I can link up some stuff because it got messed up.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Um,
This
hey
is
Drip. Look, and I adore you. I don't know why you say you're not everybody's cup of tea. This is who I think who got beef with you. And I think it's the same people that got beef with me. I think
probably.
it's some He-Man woman haters.
Yeah.
That's who I think. But I don't really say anything, in my opinion, that is controversial when it comes to the manosphere. This is what I think. I think they may hate watch. I still think they like us because why are they always watching? So that's my thing on it. And I used to not hold women accountable. I used to say, hey, no other community is holding women accountable. Why should we? Then I started seeing a lot of nonsense from women, and I said, okay, well, I gotta say something because I don't want them being the mouthpiece, So, but for me, I hold everybody accountable. If you're talking crazy, whatever, I'm gonna hold you accountable because this is my show, and if you don't like it, you can go somewhere else. That's how I feel. So anywho,
that it's your show.
Right. Thank you, Jacqueline. I gotta figure. Okay, let me make you a mod. And y'all, I'm really not good at hosting. Okay, that's not my thing. 2K hosts the morning show. When 2K isn't there, then it's kind of like me and Black kind of thing, but just me standing on my own too, hosting a show, talking while producing, while doing it all. That's not my thing. I can barely walk and chew gum. So I do the best I can. I do the best I can. So so I saw Jacqueline, and that's my girl. And I said, let me do this right now before I forget. And let me make Drip and Jacqueline mods because I need mods. Drip, Jacqueline, you have no choice in the matter. I hope you are okay with it because look, homie, this is what it's got to be. So
we need you.
Sorry, friends. And if you're on, and because Kamal's a mod, but Kamal's going to be talking as well, so I can't go to him to put the stuff in. Okay, add as moderator. Yep, standard and Drip Nails. Okay. All right, who else? In fact, let me go ahead and do Gibson family while I'm at it.
Hit the thumbs up.
Yes, please hit the thumbs up. That helps with the algorithm. You guys, we did it, y'all. We got over 3,500 subscribers. Woo! Yes. That's a big deal for me. And we got over 2,500 on the Don't Piss Me Off morning show. And
Woo!
We've just been, girl, and we only been on there, I think, a week since we, started our own channel. So maybe no more than 2 weeks. So yeah, it's we're coming along.
We give you grace, Kellie.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
The tech issues, no one can do Kellie and the morning show the way you guys do. So have
you seen the morning show, Ann? If you haven't, it's okay.
I've creeped on the episode.
I know. I appreciate it because I know a lot of people are at work, so they may not be able to.
Actually,
hey, I'll be doing that too. Yes, y'all go ahead and follow Kamal Johnson Network. He puts out great content, consistent. My FBA brother, in the whole bid. So this is what
I'm almost done. Give me like a couple more minutes.
Okay, take your time. Take your time. And my girl Nora, she's gonna join at about 8:00. She is Caribbean, she's Jamaican and Moroccan. But this is why I had to talk about this. I just keep seeing online, and I'm not even gonna hold you. My biggest beef is not even with the tether community. It's with FBAs. It's the Pan-Africans, because they're the ones that for the longest, I think they had low self-esteem, would group us all together, would group the blacks with the Caribbeans, with the Africans. Whole time, Africans and Caribbeans already always separated themselves, and rightfully so, because they got their own culture, they got their own thing going on. But then you had these low self-esteem Pan-Africans talk about we're all together. And said your brother-in-law is Jamaican. And again, shout out to your brother-in-law, Drip Nails. I never had a problem with no group of people. Earlier, LaQuinta was teasing me. I hope she makes it in the chat. LaQuinta was teasing me saying I don't like Latinos. One of my best friends is Dominican. I don't have a quarrel with nobody. My beef is with these illegals. And I don't care where you come from. I didn't like they brought in Biden Harris, and I'm not going to make this a political show because I don't even be feeling like talking about politics sometimes. Biden Harris brought over 100,000 Haitians. I didn't like that. I said, oh no, them jokers got to go. Obama brought in 70,000 Somalians. That's too many. I'm sorry. And then somebody going to argue with me and say, well, Trump brought over 200 white South Africans. I don't want them white. I ain't want them jokers here either. Now, if you ask me, would I rather have 200 white South Africans than 100,000 Haitians? I'm going to pick the white South Africans because it's fewer. It's not about a race thing. It's a number thing. I don't want right now. We got to get our own house in order. Okay. And everybody on this show is an elite, is an American citizen. Okay, so this conversation is for American citizens. You an illegal gets to stepping, like Martin said. Now, anywho, we go. That's my little rant. Jacqueline says I'm Dominican and you like me. Darn tootin' I do, Jacqueline. My girl. I wish my girlfriend. I'm gonna get my girlfriend Rosalind to call in or join the show. Rosalind be in the chat with you, Jacqueline. She just be texting me on the Don't Piss Me Off morning show. She be watching, and she a Dominican from New York. Actually, she from Santo Domingo. She from Santo Domingo, came to America. She was about 13, she's a retired NYPD. That's my homie. She been a Trump supporter since 2016. She said her own cousin, I'm going to put her business out there, Manuel wasn't illegal. Obama kicked Manuel out. She said Manuel knew what he did was wrong. She had no sympathy. So I said, my girl, shout out to, we got a super chat. Thank you, Dr. Witch Doctor. We got Dr. Witch Doctor, and I'm going to do our icebreaker in a second. Dr. Witch Doctor with the $2 super chat. When we pull up, give me the loot. Okay, Dr. Witch Doctor says, salute Kellie and panel. Big up the chat gang too. Dr. Witch Doctor, he is Guyanese American. So I like everybody.
So
yes.
Kellie, so then the issue is, what is the issue then? Because as a foundation,
my issue is,
what's the issue? That doesn't seem personal.
The issue that we are going, there's a lot of issues we're going to talk about tonight.
Yay!
But my biggest beef is the resistance to delineation. That's my biggest beef. And we call the delineation, and we already do it. You know, you told me, I can't remember what conversation, because we've been on the show a few times together, but you told me, you're, because I mess up words. Ghanaian. Did I say that right? Ghanaian. Okay. Got you. Told me you was Ghanaian American. You already separated. I never heard you say you was. I never heard you say you was Black American. I never heard you say that. You know what I'm saying? Like that. That be my issue when people try to say that Ghanaian American, FBA, blah blah blah, that we all Black. Hold on. We all are melanated. You know, or if they want to use the term Black, cool. You could say we all Black as far as skin tone, but we ain't all the same. We not all the same. And for whatever reason, people got a problem. And it's really not the immigrant community for the most part. Sometimes they be saying a little tether talk, but for the most part, it's not them as much. It be Black people pushing this effing crap. And it pisses me off, and I know it pisses my brother off my FBA brother Kamal, because we got a goal of trying to get reparations. And then if you group us all together, then we don't get the reparations. And forget reparations. We could throw reparations off the table. We just not the same. That's like somebody saying I'm white. Hold on, I'm not white. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's just crazy talk to me.
That was really well said, especially
Thank you.
when you said we have different interest. Reparations versus undocumented people. That's a huge issue that would split Black,
Yes.
foundational Black Americans and foreign Black Americans, right?
Yes,
Like,
yes.
foreign Black Americans won't vote probably for that. They'd vote for the other stuff, right? Like,
right.
Or at least the ones who come from that background, who are in Congress, who are, first generation Americans like myself, they probably would be more sensitive to undocumented people versus foundational Black Americans.
And they are. They are. I've right now, and it's really a shame. And again, I'm not trying to make it too political, because I'm not trying to turn anybody off, but I speak facts. You don't have you could be apolitical like Kamal. Kamal is apolitical. He ain't got a dog in the Republican fight or the Democrat fight, but he wants what's best for his foundational Black American community, and you can't help but respect that. But even Kamal will agree that right now the Democrat Party is doing a lot of undermining foundational Black Americans by pushing this illegal immigration crap, which it hurts us all. It hurts, first generation Americans, because your parents had to wait in line. You know what I'm saying? These people, they skipping the line. That's not cool. Jacqueline in the chat. Jacqueline had to go about getting her citizenship the right way. So for me, it makes sense why Trump got the Latino vote. So my thing, what I was saying earlier is, I don't know how maybe they think Black people stupid. And I do think a lot of Latinos, not all, but a lot of them do have prejudice against Black people, foundational Black Americans. But why would we give a damn about this shit when it undermines all of Americans, but it undermines our community the most? Makes no sense.
Look, can we talk about that, please?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. What do you want me to expound on?
So do you think that foundational Black Americans should be protesting in the ICE rate, like the stuff that's going on?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Shouldn't. Number one, I'm petty. Okay. So we could take it. We could take it back. Let's look at it like this. When foundational Black Americans were protesting for or on the front lines, fighting for rights, they were fighting for civil rights. Okay. That were majority of. There weren't that many immigrants, and I can't think of the number, but I want to say it was like less than 10% or something of the population were immigrants from certain countries. Well, particularly, I will say Black countries. Right. It was a civil rights issue. Latinos, they wanted no parts of it. Okay. The LULAC president, I'm going to pull his name up, Felix Tarahandia. I'm not good with names. Felix, the LULAC president of 1954, Felix T. I'm just going to say T because I'm not going to be able to say it. He said the Negroes' problems are his own. I don't want to fight the Negroes' battles. Those are his battles. Okay. So that's that. Then we can go from, there are many examples of the Latino community undermining foundational Black Americans. In fact, I have a clip here, and I'm glad you asked this question. I have a clip, and shout out to this African man. Shout out to this African man who told it like it is, and he called it out on his I guess on his social media. Let me pull it up. So shout out to this guy.
The Latino who are working in my company, I'm a Black man. I own a company. The Latino comes back and complain about the African Americans because the Latino thinks because I'm African, I don't have any relationship with the African American. The Latino comes to me and tell me that you are an immigrant. I'm an immigrant. That African American cannot work. I have Jose, I have Gonzalez, my brothers who know how to work very well. You need to fire the African Americans, and I will bring a lot of hardworking Latinos who work for your company. This is my company as a black man. My company. I was a contractor at Quantico Marine Base in Virginia. A contractor for General Electrics. And the Latino workers that are hired, they are snitching on the African-American workers that are hired for me to fire the African-Americans so they can bring Latinos to take their place.
So shout out to that guy. Our actual African-American brother. You know, what was that? What was that, Kamal? Sorry.
You tethers out there. That's not a tether. You see how you're African immigrant and not trying to undermine us? I'm tired of you mother effers out there trying to rearrange the word what a tether is.
I think
I'm glad you said that.
Because when he said, I'm an immigrant, you're an immigrant, that's the disrespect, I think, that immigrants, no matter what ethnicity or nationality they come from, they forget that it was foundational Black Americans who set the foundation for any of us to even be here. And when you forget that essential part, it becomes a competition where you find immigrant groups aligning with anti-Black rhetoric to their own advantage. Yeah.
Yes.
And then white people, you know, love to use the model minorities. Oh, racism can't exist. Look at the Nigerians. Racism can't exist. Look at the Asians. Like, as a way to gaslight. So
yes. Yeah, look, you get it. You got it. And like Kamal said, I say it a million times here, and I'm going to keep saying it because I don't want anyone to shout out to your average logical thinker in the chat. In fact, let me go ahead and figure out let me add you to, as a mod, friend. Okay. So, and before I move on, I got a super chat because I won't forget the super chat. Thank you to Rush Enterprises Starks for the $2 super chat. I'm tapped in.
When we pull up, give me the load.
Appreciate it. Are you FBA, Rush? I'm just curious. I think I know you out in New York. I only ask because I know when it comes to Black immigrants, it's like New York and Florida have most of them. Like I think that's like where the flights come in or something. Like I don't know. That's just something I noticed. What'd you say, Kamal?
It's like 80%.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the rest in Texas and some in Cali. That's basically it.
And these, I will say, where I live, DC area, we do have a lot of Nigerians. It's like a lot of quite a bit of Nigerians. I don't know why. I don't know because I don't know if it's the school because I went to Howard and there were a lot of foreign. Okay, yeah. I know a lot of foreign immigrants came to Howard.
You guys have to consider also that it's the government. The government has made policies to attract immigrant people here. If even Mexican people back in the 1950s, there was the Basura, a certain act that basically the United States government said, hey, farmers, of course, we're going to subsidize your workforce because Black Americans went to war. So there was no one there to do the farm work. So the government the farmers complained to the government and the government gave them a subsidy that allowed them to attract undocumented people. And that started the 1950s. Over a million Mexican men came that first year. So
wow.
And one thing, and that was in World War II. That act was officially discontinued, I want to say in the late 60s, but even though the act stopped, people didn't stop coming here. They still kept coming to the farms and no one pushed them out. And so we really have to think about how this problem started because the government essentially invited them in. They started this problem. And I also want to and that what FBA people have done. The reason why everyone turns to FBA people is simply because of this. It is only FBA people who have held the United States government to its promise of constitutional rights, civil rights, and American rights. Who are we gonna? Where are we gonna deport FBAs to? And so we know that this is y'all's shit. That's why they everyone knows that it's kind of sick, but everyone knows that we need y'all to fight. But then at the same time, brother said they gaslight and they gang against foundational Black Americans. It's crazy.
Look, I got another quote. Before I move on, Kamal, did you have anything to add?
Yeah,
I'm not going to move on. I just have a clip to show that goes along with what Ann was saying, but go ahead, Kamal.
You want me to call you Annie or Ashanti?
Ann works. Ashanti works.
Okay, I'm gonna say Ashanti. Ashanti, some would say you sounded xenophobic right there. I'm not saying you sounded that way, but some would say you sounded xenophobic. If you was a foundational Black American saying that, you would have been called all types of xenophobic.
Yeah.
And you know what? I don't even know what that word means. I've never heard the word xenophobic until, I lie to you not, Kamal.
cute,
I want to
Kellie.
say like 2024. Like I never heard that word before 2024.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I just,
it probably didn't. It wasn't really mainstream until then. Anyway.
I never heard. What is it? It just means racist, right? What does it mean?
Nah, it means you hate somebody
Like,
because
it's
of their
the- it's
nationality or like culture
I
and
wouldn't
shit
say
like
that.
Oh,
xenophobic means. Like you hate them because it's basically racism of hating somebody because of their like culture and ethnicity and shit.
that's so
That's what it
stupid.
Yeah.
And you know what's crazy? It's the same. I'm gonna say it. The same Blacks that would say that's who it really is. I mean, I will say, because it's Blacks and it's Black immigrants, but when it comes to the Black people that are these Pan-Africans, okay, that say we're all together, those loonies, those crazy people, they would if I said what Ann said, they would have called me xenophobic. But it's the same people that say that Black people can't be racist. So which one is it? Like which one is it? Either Blacks can't be racist because we have no power in America, which I'm like, okay, you want to go with that narrative, cool, whatever. But then how am I xenophobic? You got to pick a lane. Pick a lane. Stay in it. I am of the opinion, I think everybody can be racist, and I think everybody is a little racist. That's what I
don't think so.
What do you think?
I think everybody can be prejudiced. A lot of people too broke to be racist. You got to have some power to stop people from doing shit to be racist.
Okay, so you think it's a power thing. See, I'm not even putting in the power aspect in it. But then again, I have to look up the definition of the word. I don't know.
I get it when people say people racist, though. I understand. It's just saying like, if you really want to the real definition of it, most people can't be racist. They too goddamn poor to be racist, or they ain't got no power to block a group of people from doing stuff, either like judicially or like economically and shit like that. But I get what you're saying, though, Kelly.
Yeah.
Hey, can I say something? What's good, chat? Hey, y'all killing it in the chat. Y'all talking about how they ain't talk about the Asians coming to their rescue.
Thank you. That's where I was gonna go. That's why it's so insane to me. Like, as far as they want Black people to get involved. We really don't have a dog in this fight. Why would you not go to the Black immigrant community or to the Asian immigrant community? Why us? Oh, because this is what I think. They think we're stupid, and they think because we have a history of fighting for rights, we will just blindly take on their cause. Like, this shit does not directly undermine us the worst. Yeah. And once again, it goes against all Americans. It really does. Like, what there's no country that just lets people in willy-nilly without any type of vetting, without any, like, why would I want? This is how I equate it. And then I'm going to play this clip and we can, move on, because I will be on this illegal immigration stuff forever. But it's like, for me, it's like, let's say I rob a bank. Okay. I robbed a bank and my husband robbed a bank and this is our house. It's like, because me and him robbed the bank and we ex-cons, we just supposed to let the ex-con down the street just come on, move in. Hold on. This our house. We bought this house. Okay. So why should I let you come in my house? Why should I leave my door unlocked just because I'm a felon? That it's like, it makes no sense. And the reason why I say that is because this is what they like to say. They say, well, you're more likely to be a victim of a crime by an American citizen than an illegal citizen. Well, guess what? I can't do nothing about the American citizens committing crimes because this is their country. If you're not supposed to be here, you got to go home. Just because I'm more likely to be a victim of a crime by an American citizen, I'm supposed to import crime too. It's like the dumbest friggin' argument. I don't get it. So it's, again, I lock my door at night. You said you in California. I'm pretty sure you do too. Okay,
Hell
we ain't got to say you lock. Why would I leave my door unlocked just for anybody to come in? What are we talking about? But because I want to lock my door at night, oh, I'm racist. That's what that's like. That's that. So like they put this crap in my comments and stuff, y'all. And here's the kicker: because I don't know you, I don't care. You can call me a racist because I don't know you. Some shit just don't even bother me. Average logical thinker with the super chat, the $4.99 super chat. She says, they know we are a loving people and been fighting causes that aren't our own for decades. I don't blame them for trying. LOL. Glad we waking up. You're right. You're right. Thinker, and I blame a lot on boomers. See, I'm not that nice. I say it all the time. My mom, she may even be watching. She's the sweetest pie. I'm not that nice. So F y'all. And I blame
Kellie. You divisive. You divisive right now.
I'm divisive.
I'm being the opposition right now. You divisive, xenophobic. What else they would tell you right now? You don't know where you come from. Your origins is from
I love
Africa
it. I love it. T.O. in the chat, my Nigerian brother, T.O. says, I know what it takes to come here legally today because my family. It took my uncle 7 to 8 years. It took my uncle 7 to 8 years to become a citizen, and another 4 to 5 years to bring his family in legally. So if you come here illegally and they send you back, that's what I'm saying. And again, T.O., I don't know if you voted, and that's your business. You ain't got to tell me. I just know Trump got the Latino vote. And any Latino that's crying about what happens, I'm going to say it, you're retarded, because that orange man made it very clear what he was going to do. My first generation immigrant friends, they happy about it. They got the least amount of sympathy. T.O. said, it took his uncle 7 to 8 years. He ain't got no sympathy. I'm with you, T.O. I'm with you. So figure it out. You know, it's people that came here. It was just them. I got a homegirl, and we're going to play this clip. My homegirl, shout out to my homegirl, Claire Patriot on TikTok. Her mother came here from Vietnam by herself, a woman, figured it out, got legal citizenship. So it is what it is. It's people I know, they had charges. Okay, they had had a gun charge or whatever, still was able, they had to pay a lot of money in their immigration lawyer, but they still got their citizenship. So all these border jumpers, I got no sympathy. And last I checked, the Latino community got the least amount of sympathy. So my community really shouldn't give a damn.
Kellie, can I say something?
Yes.
Jacqueline in the chat. I ain't gonna lie, I was really about to say, yo, some of the Hispanics out there that voted for Trump sitting their ass at home enjoying the show too, like Jacqueline. And look what Jacqueline said.
Yes.
Voted for Trump. And she not with that illegal immigration shit.
Everybody I know. I told you, my homegirl Rosin, Dominican too. She said when her cousin got deported under Obama, she said he knew what he did was wrong. She ain't feel no type of way. And Manuel was like, hey, I knew it was a chance. She told me. So I get it, because when you think about it, they had to show that, because she told me what they had to go through. She had to show that her family wasn't going to be a burden. They had to show where they was going to live. I think they was going to live with her aunt or something. She had to show where they was going to live, show that they wouldn't get on any type of public assistance or whatever. It was a whole process, and I know they had to pay money, because I knew one African girl I saw say she had to pay $10,000. I don't know if it was fees or whatever. So you gotta pay for the flight over here. So think about it. They came from their country. They come in here. They trying to make a life here. They had to do everything they had to do. Then you got these jokers skipping the line, getting benefits that they wasn't able to get, certain benefits. And remember, they left them other countries that was not safe. So I don't know about you, Kamal. If I left the Dominican Republic because the Dominican Republic wasn't as safe as the Bronx or whatever, blah, 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 blah. I wouldn't want the friggin' all of Dominican Republic to come here. Okay. I'm sorry. Maybe that's ignorant. Maybe let me know, Jacqueline. But why I was turned off to the 100,000 Haitians? I'm sorry. I saw what y'all did in Haiti. I saw y'all killed y'all. I saw on the news y'all unalived your own president, and it was some disarray. Now, I'm not saying everybody there was doing that, but it was a lot of people from there. So why would I want 100,000 people from a country, 100,000 people that fucked up their own country coming here? Maybe I'm stupid. Maybe I'm stupid. I don't know.
Not. And the running joke was they had some motherfucker there named Barbecue that was barbecuing people over there, and like,
I know what you're talking about.
You know what I mean, making human back ribs and baby legs, barbecuing all types of shit. It's like, really, do we want that? It's just more the thing that what be pissing me off is they act like they not really taking resources when they really is taking resources.
Yeah, look, Jacqueline says she agree. Okay, thank you. And we all family. If I'm wrong, you could call me out. My feelings won't be hurt. I don't take stuff sensitive. You know, I really don't. So thank you. I'm with you. Yeah, and you are taking resources, and I got a clip for that. But I'm gonna play this clip real quick, because this is what the Latina, the Cuban lady has said about. Now, she kind of went viral for saying this. I didn't think it was that big a deal to get
so
viral.
African American community, which is the community.
Hold on. Let me write. Okay, so this is Angela Castro. She has a podcast. I'm gonna let y'all in on a little secret. Angela Castro was a former porn star. Okay, because I be paying attention to the comments. So apparently she's a very well-known porn star. I googled her. She won a whole award. Won a what do they call it? The AVN American Video some corn award. The corn Oscars. Yeah, the corn Oscars. She won a corn. That's what I call it. It's easier for me. The corn Oscars. She won an Oscar in pornography. I'm not going to say shout out to her because I don't condone that sort of thing. But that's where she came. You know, that's her background. So anyway, we're going to see what Angela Castro got to say.
La única comunidad que nos va a sacar de este hueco se llaman los negros
100%.
americanos.
100%.
African American community is the only community that has the power in this country to change anything. They are the only one with the experience of civil matter. They are the only one que tenían el esclavo ahí mismitico. They are the only one that are not going to get deported anywhere, and you cannot put them all in jail. So African American community, the community that is stepped on by Cubans, the most are the only ones that are going to save the Latinos. And I clap for the African American community that has not come out, because it is not. I do. We didn't do shit for them.
I get it. But I don't.
Me and you support, but in masses, we didn't support anything that was going with them. Latinos look at Cubans specifically. I'm not going to talk about any other community because I'm not part of that community, even though I'm a Latina with them. Cubans talk shit about African Americans. Cubans did not support African Americans. Cubans think that they all victimize themselves, of this, all of that. African Americans are the only ones that are going to save your asses, Latinos. So you better start kissing. If you're going to kiss some ass in this country, you better kiss some black ass.
Now, thoughts, Kamal?
My thoughts is, I ain't gonna lie, that shit too late. Y'all should have been kissing our black asses a while ago. Nah, it's too late. Y'all already done undermined it. Look, I'm in Cali. They've been undermining us since, I want to say, to be honest, early 2000s. But it didn't really hit me because I was younger then. You feel me? I was went to college in 05 in San Diego. I didn't really get hit with the stuff till like 2011, 2012. And the first way they did it was through the jobs. They weren't hiring us. And the way they got around it was, you got to be bilingual. Yeah.
Now, hold on. Are we not in America? Is our national language not English? And that's the type of stuff. Thank you. That's the type of stuff that pisses me off, because I don't think this is where I think a job should be bilingual. If you are teaching ESL, okay, where you're actually teaching a language, or if you are what's something I'm trying to say, like where you're working directly with that particular community exclusively. Like I can't think of an example, but
maybe like a DMV in that community. I can see that, or close by.
No. You know what? Where I could see it, an interpreter. That's it. An interpreter, because no job. Because I know what you're talking about. I saw a video on X, and I should have saved it, but I didn't save it. But there was it was two FBA black women. They were laid off of their job because they wanted someone that spoke two languages. No, that right there, that was a black job that was lost to a black person. And let's be clear, because I don't want to just make this a black thing, even though it is black Americans versus Africans versus Caribbeans. It's an American thing, because again, we in America. I can go, me and you, we could go speak to a white person. They're going to understand us because this is our national language. I don't know. Average logical thinker. She says, Kamal hit the nail on the head. Kids can't get menial jobs because they don't speak Spanish in Cali. This breeds more crime. Oh, I think you in Cali. Aren't you in Cali?
Exactly.
Logical thinker. Machine is. I know Machine is. Machine says here in LA, it's just not that simple because of the amount of immigrants that have been here for decades, working within the fabric of the community. That I do. Yeah, it is so many in LA. You're not wrong, Machine. It is a lot of Hispanic people that live in LA.
And Machine proving my point. That's why it's too late for them to kiss our black asses. Y'all been undermining us and doing this shit. To be real, since the 60s, since you said Felix, rat face, mother effer, whoever he is, that said let the Negro fight his own fight. You know what I mean? That was predominantly, they were located, I think their headquarters were in LA. So they've been undermining for a long time, and it really ramped up. I want to say in Cali, what I started noticing it was like the late 90s, early 2000s. But the Latinos were cool because they didn't have the numbers like that. Then they start gaining the numbers. Then they start trick bagging. It was all cool. Hey, we all won. We all poor. Then when they start getting the numbers, they're like, hey, nah, we hiring Jose. We hiring our cousin. We hiring
and again, we are talking. We talking in generalities here, folks, because I'm not trying to offend any of my legal immigrant brothers and sisters, okay? But we know, we're not saying everybody, but it is enough examples of this where it's a problem, where the African gentleman called it out. And to your point, Kamal, and I have a video right here where they're talking about what was going on in LA, of all the undermining that this particular community, I'm going to say the Latino people in LA. Not everybody, but this is what they have been doing to the blacks that were already there in that community. So I thought this was kind of funny here, this little clip.
With the immigrants, cuz. We need to go downtown and protest with the essays. Go down there and protest? Yeah, you know, black and brown love. We are allies, blood. Let me think about that. Right.
Man, LA, dog, if you know, you know, and if you don't, you don't. LA's raised.
At the time, Martinez in that recording also referred to the child as a monkey. The councilman in a statement called the comments vile and disgraceful and said that, quote, Martinez attacked her son with horrific racist slurs and talked about her desire to physically harm him.
Well, we don't want to sign to no blacks. Right. Southsiders do want, guess, I don't even want to speak on that, but we don't want to sign to no blacks.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
The Mexican gang, they already have their laws.
Yeah.
And you're going to follow their laws.
Yeah.
Like, you can't sleep in the cell with a black guy.
Really?
No, it's against the law.
Okay, I'm gonna say this real quick, and I'm gonna keep playing it. So I know there's certain things that I know a lot about, y'all. Gang culture is one of them. Not gonna get into that, but I just know about this. Surprisingly, and another thing I kind of know a little bit about is prison politics. In prison, the whites be with the Hispanics. So that whole black and brown, for whatever reason, people think black and brown, you think the blacks and the Hispanics get together in prison. No, they don't. And this is how you know. We could look at what happened with Tory Lanez, who was his assailant. Okay. You can look at what happened with R. Kelly, who was his assailant. I'm not making this shit up, folks. Okay. Carter says facts, Kelly. Thank you, Carter. Some stuff I just know. I ain't gonna get into how I know it, but trust me on it. Okay, we're gonna play back what Rick Ross was saying.
A Mexican gang member cannot have a black cellie.
No. He has to go to the hole.
So he has to basically fight that guy.
They sabotage black and white people on jobs, get black and white people fired on jobs, and then you will see their cousins, their uncles, their brothers, their sisters, and everybody on the job got fired because they didn't try to get you out of there, and their whole family is there. And don't let one of them get to become a supervisor.
You know what? I'm gonna just sit this one out. For real, folks? Are you sure? Yeah, I am sure.
And again, I'm gonna say this one more time, and then I'm gonna turn it over to Kamal. If T.O. and Tia voted for Trump, why should Tisha or Keisha or Jamal undermine your own community? It just don't make no sense to me. But Kamal, any thoughts to the clip that I just played?
Man, only people that's caping for the illegal immigrants that is black, they Sambos and mammies. I'm telling you that right now. And I'm sorry to say, some of y'all out there is Democrats. Look, most of them Democrats.
Mm-hmm.
Not all, but most of them is. They caping for that illegal immigrant ish. And look, I've been knowing about this. Look, I think people will be messing up in their brain is that like they might have a couple of homies that's Latino and they cool in your anecdotal personal life.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, people gonna be cool in your anecdotal life because there's that line when you know somebody in real life that you could give an ass whooping. All right. But online and collectively, they don't mess with us.
Right.
And they've been telling us this. And like, I feel offended because motherfucker, we got the internet now. We got YouTube, Twitter, goddamn Instagram. We got too much information that we could go back and look at things of what y'all said and what y'all did in the past and what y'all saying now on like podcasts or the LA council member like Nuri Martinez that look half dead. You feel me? Talking about calling that kid a monkey or saying
that was crazy.
I ain't effing with that guy because he with the blacks alongside with Kevin DeLeon. You feel me? Man, y'all better get the F out of here talking about we need to fight alongside with y'all and protest with y'all. Hell no, give me my popcorn, whatever drink I want. I might drink a soda, some juice, water, and I'm going to enjoy the goddamn show. Because, Kelly, they love wagging a finger at us, telling us that we don't know what we doing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we ain't doing the shit right. All right, cool.
Figure it out.
Figure it out. Tell us how to do this then.
Yeah.
And like, I think was another thing that's going on is that we are showing them that we really get shit popping, and they starting to notice that. So that's why they're not asking the other communities. They ain't asking Asian Americans. They ain't asking these Indian Americans. There you go with the reverse mohawk. Bought in the damn front, looking like Dr. Robotic. Let the Negro fight his own battles. His problems are not mine. I don't want to ally with him. Well, suck our, you know what? This your platform. I ain't gonna say. But
yes,
man,
yeah, we gotta be cool with the F-bombs. They'll put me on a yellow, you know, they put the little yellow monetization.
Oh, y'all get that all the time.
Limited. Yeah, the limited. I want all my monetization.
You feel me? Y'all see that this in the 60s, y'all, when we was fighting for civil rights, y'all. They helped out everybody.
Yes. And look, so I have a bit of a different opinion. I'm gonna be honest with you. In chat, I actually don't think blacks could even help them. And I'm gonna tell you why. Last I checked, we don't have reparations. So last I checked, we didn't get our own anti-hate bill. Aren't we still waiting on that, Kamal? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, we're still waiting on that. But last administration, well, I can't remember how many billions, but Kamala Harris looked out for her community, the Asian community, set them up with, I want to say $300 billion in government contracts. I know that they got that Asian hate bill. Mazie Hirono sponsored that, you know. So when it comes to, in my opinion, Black Americans in this country, I don't think we have any political leverage right now. We're too busy. And when I say we, I mean them, not me and not you, because I'm not a part of the Democratic plantation, and you're apolitical. Neither are you. You're not part of the Democratic plantation. So with that being said, in mass, Black Americans vote for the Democratic Party, and the Democratic Party has not given the Black community any tangibles, and they have just given their vote over generation after generation with no political leverage, with not getting anything, and they still are doing it, while the whole time the people that they are voting for are literally undermining them by helping the illegal immigrants, because again, the illegal immigrants are taking resources primarily from the Black community, but also all Americans, you know, just America in general. But Black Americans are hurt the most. It does depreciate. This illegal immigration depreciates wages to the tune of about $2,000 a year for a Black person. Okay. Not white person, for a Black person. And we all know that there is a wage gap. So unfortunately, you have Brandon Jackson, mayor of Chicago, helping the illegals out there in $1 billion deficit because of these illegals. You have Brandon Scott. I don't know what it is with these.
The Brandons.
Brandon Scott out of Baltimore. He the mayor of Baltimore. He helping the illegals. A lot of these liberal, these Democratic mayors, these Democratic elected officials that are Black, and some of them are FBA, and some of them are tether. And I'm purposely using the word tether because they're undermining our community, like the tether that runs the governor. You did a story on him, the tether governor in Maryland, Wes Moore. Now they say he FBA. Last I checked, the man was Cuban and Jamaican. I don't know which parent is FBA, but that's tether enough for me. And he, you know what he said? Oh, we don't need to do any more reparation studies. It's time to move forward, but didn't say how he gonna move forward. You know, but he there going sure helping with these illegals. So with all that being said, and I'm going to land my plane, I promise. Unfortunately, yeah, you know, we protest this, that, and the third, but I truly believe if we had any political power, we would have more tangibles in our community, and we don't, because too many people just still on that plantation. I primarily blame the boomers.
Now, a lot of bootlicking going on in Samboism.
Yes, they are the worst. Jacqueline, that's why I put this up here. Jacqueline says, what kills me is the sense of entitlement. I'm with you. I'm with you, girl. Because again, why you think anybody's supposed to help you when don't nobody owe me nothing, you know? So I just don't think that way.
I gotta disagree with you right there, Kelly. The
Sure.
goddamn government owes reparations. I'm gonna scream.
Well, that's facts. That's facts. I meant a person.
A person.
You know what I'm saying? But no, and here's why the government owes us reparations. And folks in the chat, if y'all don't agree, that's fine too. But at the end of the day, it's a debt that's owed. I you know, this happened long before me and Kamal. It was a debt that was it's a debt that's owed that was not paid. It's not like, you know, we just want this. No, we were supposed to, after the war, Black Americans were entitled to certain things. Not only that, because everybody wants to say, well, Kelly, you weren't a slave, and then we're going to move on. No, I was not a slave. However, studies have proven that slavery still affects the FBA in America today with certain health conditions. And you can trace a line all the way from slavery to Jim Crow to our land being taken. There were once upon a time, there were 1 million Black farmers whose land was taken, to redlining, to mass incarceration. All of this line goes all the way back to slavery. So it's not just the reparations from slavery. It's generations of the government, the federal government, doing everything that they could to knock FBA down. And this isn't a victim Olympics thing. I'm not one of them to play the victim Olympics. I'm a whole conservative Republican, the whole bit. So I'm the last person that's going to play the victim Olympics. But I base my show on facts. These are facts here. I can't make this stuff up. And despite all of that, despite Jim Crow, despite mass incarceration, despite redlining, despite our land being taken, despite all of that, despite numerous Black Wall Streets that were burnt down, despite all of that, we are still here, and we doing what we can, you know. So that's that, and that's my little spiel on that. Sorry, y'all. I try not to go too long.
God damn.
Yeah.
Hey, Kelly, I'm gonna tell you right now, we about to get called all types of divisive stuff because we said Caribbeans and Africans, and it's only us.
First of all, I love it, and it's again, this is how I know I'm not tripping. I have too many immigrant friends, so there's no way that they could put me in this box, because I'm sorry, and I have these conversations with my immigrant friends, so I know I ain't tripping. I for the most part, I'm not. But let me look, because we talked about these coons, so I got a coon right here that we gonna play.
You look crazy too.
This is a man. Okay, this is a man. So just want to throw that out there, because first the hair kind of confused me, but this is a man. So we gonna hear what this coon had to say, and y'all gonna get a good kiki out of this.
About Black American versus African American, and why I don't prefer to use the term Black American over African American to describe my ethnic group. So for those of you who don't know, African American is a term used to describe the ethnic group that are referring to the people that are descendants of enslaved Africans that were brought to what is now known as the United States of America. While some people use Black American.
Now that's where he went wrong first. We weren't all brought here. Okay. We weren't all brought here, and we're going to get into that. So this tells me right now, this N-word don't know what he's talking about. Okay. But moving right along.
American and African American interchangeably, Africans that were brought to what is now known as the United States of America. While some people use Black American and African American interchangeably, I personally don't. And the reason why I'm making this video is because I didn't care for the way that you, as well as some other people, responded to me and the fact that I was using African American. A few of you just started getting attitudes really quickly, and it's rather weird. The thing is that the reason why I don't care to use Black American over African American is because someone else being a Black person from another country and being in America, or having heritage from another country and being an American, doesn't stop them from being Black. So when I say Black Americans, to me, that is encompassing all Black people in the United States of America, whether they're African American or not. versus when I say African Americans is very specific and people tend to know exactly which group I'm talking about. And I do want to comment on the whole thing about, oh, you have Africans confused. I don't have anybody confused about anything. And if somebody is confused on these terms, explain them to them. Now, I will say this. I have never, ever met someone who was from the continent of Africa, regardless of any country, or someone who was an American-born person who has African heritage, who ever referred to themselves as African-American. I have never seen that. Not once, ever. I have always seen people from Africa always describe themselves as Nigerian-American, or it'll be Ghanaian American, so on and so forth. But I have never seen them say African American. And if they did say that, why don't you just correct them and explain the difference between them? So I'm going to keep using African American. And again, if y'all don't want to use African American, that is perfectly fine. But please don't try to come at me for using that term, especially not when I'm making a video that is uplifting African Americans in this country and y'all aren't doing that. It's like no matter how good you're trying to do something, there's always going to be those people who love to nitpick. But more blessings to y'all or not. I don't know. It's your life.
Okay, now here's why this is so stupid. Okay, he is right in the sense that my girl Nora's here. No, he is right in the sense that I have never heard an African American use the term African American. We had earlier on the show, Anne told me she's first generation Ghanaian American. He's right in that term. But in what world does it make sense for Anne to use the term Ghanaian American, but me and Kamal use the term African American? I'm sorry, Kamal, you my brother, you don't look African to me. You don't look African to me at all. I know I don't look African, and I'm just going to leave it there. But again, why would I identify as African American when, one, my ancestry does not, I've done my ancestry. I can't trace it all the way back to West Africa. Okay, I can't do that. We're so many generations removed. If we did come from a slave ship from Africa, which I do believe some FBA did come from the slave trade, but I also believe a lot of us were already here. And let's be clear, the human race, according to science, comes from Africa. So why would I say I'm African American, or Kamal say he African American? Number one, Africa is a continent of 55 countries, over 5,000 ethnic groups. So why it logically does not make sense. I always rejected the term. It's so stupid to me. And then I'm gonna say it. The nigga that came up with it doesn't even identify as African American. This nigga says he's an Indian, Jesse Jackson. Okay. Well, so, and I try not to use that word. I'm trying to get away from using that word, but it just makes my
goddamn.
It makes my point come across a little more sharper. So that's why I say it. The nigga that came up with it say he Cherokee Indian. But he named everybody else African American. It doesn't make any sense. It's stupid. Even as a little child in my little kid brain, and I would hear African American, I said, well, I don't really know nothing about no Africa. You know, I know I'm black because my parents told me, oh, you black. So I'm like, I'm black. And I went to a mixed school. It was a diverse school. Some little white kids, I'd say, I'm black. The white kids were like, you're brown. I'm like, no, I'm black. My mom told me I'm black. I know I'm black. So I don't know I may not look that dark, but I'm black. Ryan, that was his name. I'm black, Ryan. but go ahead, Kamal, and then I'm going to introduce my girl Nora. I just always hated the term Kamal. Did you ever use it? Did you ever say African? We're in a safe space. You know, I was not always so blackety black. I will say that. Oh
man.
I always knew I was black, but I wasn't so blackety black. I guess probably till college because I went to Howard. But I don't know. If you use, I never use the term African American though, but maybe you use the term African American.
Nah, I didn't really use that term. I just said I'm black. You feel me? That's all you know what I mean? Hey, Kelly, you got me dying over here. You feel me? What's good, Nora? What's good, Nora? And in the chat, hey, machine, bruh.
What machine saying? Machine's my guy.
I was thinking Bruh was speaking Zestanese, man. Why?
Oh yeah, he was.
He had the coonish list. He was like, okay, African Americans and some Black Americans. It's like, bruh, shut your ass up. I don't want to be alongside with Elon Musk. Elon Musk is African.
Now that's an African American right there. That's an African American. He from South Africa. He immigrated to America. Charlize Theron. That's an African American. That if they use that term, I got no quarrel with it. But it's like you putting us with a group of people that's from a whole other continent. Again, 5,000 ethnic groups. So I'm just supposed to somehow have a connection to a continent that delineated over 5,000 times in their own homeland, which is fine. That's their business. Do your thing, but it doesn't make any sense. Nora, actual African American has joined us. Shout out to Nora here. Let me unmute you, Nora. An actual African American, my girl, Nora Christine. Welcome to the show.
Hi, everyone.
Nora, you got an echo going. Do you have it playing on another browser?
No, hold on. I've been having issues with my thing all night. 1 second.
Oh no, take your time.
Yeah.
Nora's an actual African American. Family is Jamaican. What's happening? Yes, absolutely.
Barrow in the chat. That's why they be trying to do the shit. He said they be trying to cut in on reparations.
Oh, say less, Daryl. Say less. I got something. I got something for you, Daryl, because I keep a clip when it comes to these daggone tethers. I be on their ass. Okay, look.
Tether folder.
Tether. Yes.
Tether.
I be on their ass. Okay, I be on tethers. I got my shoulder. I got FBA stuff. Small hats. I need to know what they got going on. Memes. Yeah, I gotta stay organized. Now, what did I have? What was in my tether file? Here it is. Ilhan Omar, the Somalian congresswoman who married her brother nasty tail self. Okay. Ilhan Omar daughter gets reparation payments from white friends. Did you see this? Have you seen this? Come on.
I haven't seen it. You gotta send this to me because I'm actually probably gonna talk about her. You know, she just said that America is like one of the worst countries. She literally just said that.
Girl, she can go back home.
Yeah, I don't understand.
Fatty in the chat. Fatty said Kellie love labels. She can't live without them. I do love it. I love organization. I like bookmarks, labels. You're look, when you're right, Fatty, you're right. I do love organization. Yes, Drip Nails, she married her brother. You can Google that. She married her brother. I think it was for citizenship stuff or whatever. It was crazy work. But yes, apparently her daughter was able to get her daughter Ursa Hersey, the daughter of squad member Representative Ilman has received reparation payments from her white friends on Juneteenth, most years since 2019. The Washington Free Beacon has found both of Hersey's parents are Somali immigrants. Reparations advocates, meanwhile, typically push for payments of descendants of Black Americans. I'm not saying African Americans. This is my show. Black Americans enslaved in the United States, while Juneteenth commemorates the nation's 1865 end of slavery. That tether stuff we be talking about. See, not y'all. Some people in the chat. I know this may seem like this is like we gaslighting, like we gassing this. I promise you, we not. Like that. Y'all saw it. You saw it. Tio, what's Tio saying? What Tio said? Tio says, I've never heard of Africans speaking on reparations. Exactly. Thank you. Tio's Nigerian. But here it is. Look, I'm not gonna put her. Tio not a tether. Ilhan Omar is a tether. This is an African tether doing some scam shit. I don't know what she got going on. But Nora, welcome to the show. How are you doing? Any comments while I look at the chat and figure stuff out.
Yeah, am I still echoing?
No, you're perfect.
Okay, good. Okay, guys. So yeah, I'm not gonna lie. When I first heard the term tether, I was like really offended. But then Kellie explained it to me, and then we started talking about the examples, and like I I see her point. I get what she's saying. Like I understand it now. I would feel the same way. I totally get it. And to be clear, I support reparations personally, but I definitely see the point that there are a lot of people, unfortunately, that are Caribbean American and African, not you know what I'm talking about, from Africa American, and they don't support it. So I definitely get, understanding on that. Also, I will say in my household personally, we didn't talk down on foundationally Black Americans, but I can see the point that there are some people from those countries that do. I don't agree with it. I don't support it. I think you should pay reverence to the community that was here when you came here and respect and understand their hustle, their struggle, and their grind. So for me, I don't subscribe to that, but I definitely understand your point and I see where you guys are coming from for those that do.
Thank you. Fatty says, shout out to Fatty. Fatty says you shouldn't be worried about Africans taking your reparations. You should focus on the coons that are your, what's that? ILK. What's that?
Ilk.
What's I?
It's ilk.
That are your ilk. And I think I know. It's like brethren that are your ilk and still are against them. Oh, I pay attention to them too, Fatty, and I know who they are. I'm not going to speak on certain people that Fatty, you know who they are, and I know who they are, and I'm not going to say who they are. But I peep. I peep, and I remember, and
I agree with Fatty, but
yeah,
at the same time,
Nor knows too.
You got to give shine to both because both are ops. I think for the Black community, I agree.
They are ops because I'm not even going to. That's a conversation for another show, the reparation debate. And to what Nora said, Nora supports reparations. I support CARICOM. That is the Caribbean reparations. Not only should Foundation Black Americans, Caribbeans, how about the Africans? What is it? And what's the country? I'm gonna play it. I got a clip that I can play. It's what is it? The Crown. I know the Crown. Certain Europeans had put Africans under tremendous oppression, the like, and they're entitled. King Leopold. What y'all know about King Leopold? All the atrocities that he did to the African folks over in, I want to say it was the Congo.
I know the movie. I can't think of the name. I know what you're talking about. I can't.
Y'all, I have so much stuff in my brain. It's hard for me to keep stuff straight when I go live.
The Last King of Scotland?
No, that's
Is
not
that
it. No, that's Idi Amin. It was a king in, I don't have the background music playing. That's why it sounds weird. But there was a king, King Leopold. He had unalived a lot of Africans. He was the Belgium king. Look, we're gonna play it because I'll mess it up. Let me see where. I know what it was. I think I had it on YouTube. But I'll ask you guys a question. Okay, panelists, describe your cultural background in a sentence. Nora, since you recently joined, Nora, and then you, Kamal. Describe your cultural background in one sentence. Nora.
Okay, so my mother's Jamaican American, and when I did my ancestry, actually I was really surprised by it. I'm 40% Nigerian and 10% you're British. I thought it would have been higher because of my fair skin, and also because obviously I'm told we have all this European in us, but on my mother's side it's less than I even thought. And my father is pure Moroccan, so I would say culturally identify more so with being Moroccan and Jamaican. I mean, but ethnically, Moroccan and Nigerian, because that's the majority that I am.
Okay. Kamal?
You said in one sentence?
Yes.
Describe my culture. The culture what?
Your cultural background in one sentence.
Look, the cultural background. We outstanding. You feel me? And we get shit done. And we whoops white supremacy ass, minus the coons and Sambos. That's what it's about. And God,
my man.
that's it.
You cooking when you cooking.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, but yes, thank you, Tio. I was right. It is the Congo. It is the Congo. Yes, it was. Now I'm not sure the year, but I want to say it was like the 1400s, something or other. But the King of Belgium had colonized the Congo, and he was killing these Africans left and right. It was committed so many atrocities against them. Really just disgusting stuff. And like I said, I got a clip here where some African guys were, speaking on reparations. And again, these guys, oh wait, this isn't it. These guys, they weren't tethers or the like. And that's what we do on this show. We're not gonna spew all the tether babble. I'm not gonna bore you guys with all the nonsense that these tethers say. I want to highlight some of our individual allies, because we don't have a group of allies. We don't have Black Americans don't have an ally, but there are individuals like Nora who is an ally, so I just wanted to show this clip right here because I was like, oh wow.
Do you think there's a difference between financial Black American versus an African? Because I feel like even though I was born in Africa, most of my life was raised in America. I joined the military and I was ready to die for this country. Yeah. So technically speaking, I am African American.
Yeah, you are African American.
So do you think there's a difference between
and you deserve every bit of America that you fought for and did everything for? But your ancestors ain't do nothing for this country. But be honest with us. Yeah. Let's be real. They got us here. If it wasn't for their hard work, if it wasn't for what
you are the resident African American right now.
If African Americans win in their struggle in the United States, that is a blueprint for us in Africa and the rest of the world. So with their struggle for reparations, it equals to the conversation about what Sudan needs from England, what Sudan needs from the Arab world, what Sudan needs from every other person that has been able to take a part of South Sudan. Right?
Okay, so he must be Sudanese. Well, actually, he looks Sudanese. Sudanese people have a distinct look. Hold on, I have something going on in my.
Not Myron. He looks nothing like those people.
Well, he's different because so you have North, and you have South Sudan. Look, I'm talking to an African American right now. You know the difference, Nora. Go ahead, enlighten the
I don't think he's from no Sudan. He looked like an Indian, but just being honest with you. But yes, correct. Sudanese people generally are mixed with Arabic, so that's probably why he has that hue to him, and he's also Muslim, so that makes sense. But yeah, Africa is truly a melting pot. There are all kinds of Africans. There's not just black, like blacks. I don't want to say that they're black, but dark black skinned Africans. There are white Africans that have been there for generations. And they were colonizers pretty much. I don't know how else to put it for them.
I know in Sudan, you have North Sudan and South Sudan. And there's a region where Amfru, what am I saying? Amfru Fudel. What is it? Say it again.
Amaru
Fudel, because we're very, if it's one thing we are on State of Affairs, it's specific. I don't call Obama. I call him Barry Soetoro. That's what he was raised as. So Barry Soetoro, we're gonna call Myron, his government, Amaru Fudel. Amaru Fudel is from the region where I believe it's more of Arabic Arab part lineage, because the gentleman that was speaking from usually Sudanese people, they're quite dark in hue. And I think that guy is from, South Sudan is where the people are very dark skinned. And I think Northern Sudan they have some Arab going on. I'm doing the best I can with not, saying it right. But yeah, and thank you in the chat to Drip Nails. Drip Nails said the name of the movie. About the King of Belgians. It was a movie. Not sure if it was that's him. That's it. Drip Nails. Shout out to you, Drip Nails. So Yeah. So look, y'all so smart today. My chat is so freaking not so today, every day. Okay, now
Y'all clowning in the
that,
chat. Damn.
okay, what's 67? 67-year-old Starker says, I'm African and I, for one, love all Black people, and that's on the real. Well, shout out to you, 67-year-old Starker. We appreciate you here. I've said this to Nora. In my personal life, I very rarely have negative encounters with people from different ethnic groups. I will even say Black African men. I'm going to say this: African men, they like Black girls. That's just what it is. Now, will they mamas have a problem with Black girls? I think so. I think so. But African men, they like Black girls, and that's what it is. What am I talking about? I'm talking to a mixed African person right now, Nora.
Yeah. Yeah. My dad has a thing for I don't want to say, okay, when I say Black women, I'm talking about like Caribbean Black women. You know what I mean? Like
I know what you're saying. Because to your father, your mom, and me ain't gonna be no different. I'm just, am I wrong?
You're the same color as my mom. You're the same shade as my mom. You look very similar to her. And also, his first wife was a Haitian woman, so he has a thing for.
Really,
he has a thing.
Wow. Yeah, I've actually heard that about Moroccan men. That's not the first time I've heard that they like Black women. And again, my own day-to-day life, African men have always been very pleasant to me. But I tend to have a pleasant disposition. We got 2 African men in the chat. Fatty, T.O. They're always very nice. They're always very, very nice. Okay, so I got my next question. What are the most common misconceptions about each other? What are the most common misconceptions each group has about the other? Kamal, you first.
I think the first misconception that they have about us Black Americans is that we lazy. They think we don't do shit. They think we just dumb. We just rapping all goddamn day, doing absolutely nothing. That's a big misconception that they have on us. You feel me?
Okay.
You also asked what the misconception we have on them.
Mm-hmm.
What's the misconception we have of the Caribbeans and Africans? I guess my misconception was I thought that before I got to college, right? You feel me? I thought we was all playing on the same team. Damn. That was my first phase of delineation. I swear to you. 2000, goddamn, what was it? 2005? Well, one of them Somalians set me straight. I was like, hey, bro, you Black. You feel me? He was like, God damn it, I'm not Black, I'm Somalian. I'm like, God damn. All right, cool. Shoot the basketball, bro. God damn. Yeah, we was playing basketball, and it was that. So that was my misconception. I thought we was all one accord, and I was like, damn, this is okay, delineation. All right, that was my misconception.
Nora?
So, okay, I'm in a safe space. I'm from Miami, Florida. Let me also talk about that, because that has to do with something culturally I should have said. I didn't grow up seeing this hatred between both, because we had to unite Black Americans and Caribbean against the Hispanics. I'm just being honest with you. So for me, I didn't see this delineation, this division, honestly, till I got to college, till I went to FAMU. And quickly, I heard about the delineation. So that was my first exposure to it. And I get it. After becoming very close friends with Kellie and taking a step back and understanding where you guys are coming from, I no longer get offended. I get it. I see the point, right? So my first misconception that I would say about I would say Black Foundation Black Americans is the fact of, like you said, there are a lot of stereotypes. I don't personally believe this, but again, I'm going to put it out there because I agree with what Kamal said. The stereotypes, the the different things, and also the why behind things. And also there's another stereotype that, you know, foundationally Black people, and we talked about this, Kelly, that they don't know where they came from. That's not true. You guys, most of you guys can actually trace your heritage back 2-3 generations. A lot of people can't do that all around the world. So shout out to Black Americans. Another thing I really like about Black Americans is the family reunions. I really, really appreciate that, because in Jamaica, we don't do that. We don't unite. We're very divided. And so another misconception that I think people think is that I'll say that Black immigrants don't stick together as much as you think. Sometimes they do. I'll say this, Haitians, they do, but me and Kelly talks about this. They will look out for a non-person from their country than for themselves. Now, I know Kelly explained to me that the Nigerians and where she's from is a little different. Again, I didn't see this growing up, so I'm just speaking from my experience down south. So that was like a big, you know, misconception that I saw, like that I learned within time. The unity that I could appreciate that about the foundationally Black American community, because we don't have that sometimes. When I grew up, the only unity we really had was when we had to like unite against, I hate to say it, but Cubans and Hispanics, and that was the reality of it, because they united
is what it
against us.
is. Hey, it is what
Yeah.
it is. You telling the truth. Yeah, you telling the truth. So
Yeah, and Haitians
okay.
don't get along with Jamaicans. That is very, very true. Very. I will say this: the things I heard as a kid growing up was against Haitians. I didn't really hear that much from. I'm gonna be honest with you, and I'm not just saying this against foundationally Black Americans. My family's thing was the Haitians. I'll be frank with you.
I've actually heard that too. I've heard that too from the immigrant community. Okay, so misconceptions each group has about each other. So I really like to learn about different cultures. I actually know, like, I'm going to say it, for a Black person, for a Black woman, I know a good amount about other cultures, because I've just always had a fascination with cultures. Like, I have my godson, he's Filipino and Black. But anyway, so what I always thought Jamaicans, I always thought Jamaicans were crazy. I don't know why, I just heard like Jamaican, and I heard Jamaican men. I always heard
that's
like
not a misconception.
Yeah,
that
okay.
is fact.
Yeah, that
the
I've
craziest people in the world are Jamaicans. Sorry, I lived with one, so I know.
I've always heard that, and I've heard like Jamaican men are crazy. I've also heard like I've heard Haitian and Jamaican men are cheaters, but I distinctly remember like coming up just hearing a Jamaican man gonna cheat. Like they all like they say all men cheat, but it's like something about Jamaican men, like I don't know, they cheat the most. I don't know. That's just what I've heard. With Africans, what was the misconception? What did I don't even know. I never really thought or heard anything specific. I just knew Africans were not like Black people. I just knew that. I was told that. I could see that. But we both were melanated. But I'm trying to think. I never heard any misconception. Like, I will say, because even the scammer stereotype, that didn't come about until the 2020s. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not even going to pick. I can't pick on like Nigerians or Africans, whatever, on that, because where I'm from, a lot of the scammers was FBAs. It wasn't, it was FBAs and it was Africans. I'm not even gonna say Africans. It was FBAs and specifically Nigerians. So I can't even just put it specifically on a Nigerian community. It was both. But as far as Africans, I just knew Africans were different. Now this is what I always thought. I knew, and I don't even know if this is a misconception, because I think it's truth. So Tio, if you still in the chat, let me know if I'm wrong. Tio, you don't Nigerian, I know that's in the chat, so let me know. But African men, like Black women, African women, they was going to marry, because so African men, they either married African women or Black women, Black American women. African women, they would marry African men or white men. Black men wasn't in the picture. It was those two. It was always white men and African men. And I think that's true. So if I'm wrong, Tio, let me know. Maybe I'm wrong. But that's that's what it was. But yeah, that was it. Yeah, Jamaicans was crazy. Haitians was kind of crazy. Haitians do voodoo. That was the other thing. Haitians do voodoo. That was always what was told to me. I know a couple Haitians in real life, and one of them went. I know 2 Haitians in real life, and one of them went to Haiti to go to a witch doctor. So y'all do what y'all want with that information. I'm not saying all Haitians are, but if I'm wrong, I only know 2.
Can I add something to that?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so I'll say this: Haitians are usually very spiritual people. So the ones that do not do voodoo, they are like the most Bible like loving people you can meet. But there are ones that do voodoo, and that is fact. And I will tell you, I had, like I said in the chat, my first long-term relationship was with a Haitian, and they go to Haiti and they do voodoo. Like, that is not a lie. I'm not saying all, like probably like 10%. Like, but they do that. So that's not a lie.
Hey man, I only know 2 Haitians, and one of them went there. She told me she went there, and she didn't call him a witch doctor. I don't know what she called him, but we called him a witch doctor. A what?
Voodoo like a voodoo priestess. It's like,
yeah, she didn't call it that though. She called it something else, and I don't even remember. But I knew that's what she was.
And
gonna
also,
go.
Jamaicans do it too.
For protection. Yes.
Let me say, the Caribbean in general does it. In Jamaica, we call it Abia, and in the Hispanic countries, they call it Santeria. So, like, something about the Caribbean, I don't know what happened during slavery or what have you, because there was slavery in those countries. It like they're very big into that stuff, and it's not just Haiti. So I'll delineate with that and say that as well.
Thank you. That is what I heard, and it's a cultural thing, and what I like, because I'm not going to be talking, well, I ain't really said nothing bad about any culture. I really haven't. What I specifically like about the Caribbean and African community, opposed to Western, they take that spirituality stuff serious. They take witchcraft seriously. That, like, Western, we are taught that it's nonsense, that it's not real. They take it serious, and they look, if you don't believe in this, if you're an atheist, that's your business. I'm not trying to push my beliefs on anybody, but I'm a Christian, and Christians believe that there's stuff that's in the Bible. If you're a Christian, if you're a follower of Christ, this is what you believe. We believe that there are demons. We believe that there is, certain entities, sorcery, blah, blah, blah. All of that is in the Bible. I believe in that. I'm not saying, every witch doctor is legit. No, but I think some stuff, I think they are doing some demonic stuff, and there is a negative demonic energy that is attached to it, to some of what's going on. And Africans, specifically Nigerians, where I live is more so Nigerians, they know about it. And the thing with the Nigerians, they will put roots on their own kin. Like, they will do that, and it's really kind of flicked up. Jamaicans do too, because I've heard that, because I had a friend, she was from Jamaica, and she knew a guy, and 2 different women put a love spell on the guy, and he knew about it. Crazy stuff, y'all. So that's right. I rebuke it too, Jacqueline. I rebuke it too. I ain't joking. And thank you, T.O. T.O. said I was right. I told y'all, I don't be lying. I don't be lying on this show. I do my research. These are my observations. But I say, chat, if I'm wrong, call me out on it. But I be knowing what I'm talking about. I be paying attention to this stuff. Okay. Purge says we eat chicken wings. They eat chicken beaks. Definitely a different breed right there. I don't know what they be. I know Nigerians, they eat like fufu and roti, and I don't really know too much. I really don't know too much about.
Yeah.
That shit good, but it's spicy. It fuck up your stomach.
I bet that makes sense.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Nigerian homie, man. Yeah, I ate some of that food. That it do look like slop though. I ain't gonna lie, but it was good. But man, it's spicy, and it be tearing your stomach up if you ain't used to that shit.
I don't really eat a lot of ethnic food in general. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. I just like what I know. It's not even I just like what I know. I'm not an adventurous person. Like if I ever go to Korea, I'm not eating that live octopus because they eat that live octopus thing and then
that shit good.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Bro said.
Okay. Yeah, Bawana says, I don't know what accusations you talking about, Bawana. And we got a Jamaican right here. I ain't scared. She right here. I ain't saying nothing crazy. I told y'all in general. This is gonna sound arrogant. I never claimed to be humble. People generally like me, y'all. Like just in my day-to-day. I'm a likable person. People from all cultures, white people like me. People just like me. I try to be nice. I'm a likable person. But I notice things and if I notice some shit, I just be like, oh, they be doing they be doing that. So I notice patterns. That's all. That's all. Okay, let me see if I could find if I got another question and then I'm going to play another clip. Okay. Where is my questions? Okay. This is the cultural clash segment. Okay. Language, accents, fashions, music. Where do we clash? Where do we blend? Oh, this got to be for you, Nora. Okay, I'm going to ask you one more time. Language, accents, fashion, music. Where do we clash? Where do we blend?
So, like Kelly, like we talk about this all the time. Like I really struggle. Like for example, I don't really like dance hall music or like traditional music like that. And I know Black American culture. Like my family's been here since the 70s. So sometimes like you're like, I can't believe your family knows that or they did that. And I'm like, yeah, I didn't grow up listening to that. You know what I mean? Like, so
when did they come here? What
1973.
Okay.
No, wait, 76.
Okay.
So for me, like I don't know, like we don't, my family, they're not invested or ingrained in Jamaica still. And my father, he never taught me their languages. So as far as accents go, I do know Patois. I'm not going to speak it because I get shy about my accent, but I do know Patois. That's the dialect that Jamaica, I guess you could say is like a dialect, like an English dialect. And then as far as like culture, I will say things that are very different. I would say I grew up with like both cultures. Like I celebrated Ramadan with my dad sometimes because he's Muslim, but I'm a Christian. Like that's, what I believe in my heart, that Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior. But I was exposed to that. So religion wise, that was like what was different. Also like during the holidays, we eat bun and cheese as Jamaicans. So that was probably different. I don't think you guys do that during Easter. Do you eat bun and there's something called bun and cheese. It's like Jamaican hot cross bun. It's like a Jamaican bun. I think in America you guys have like a hot cross bun. Or like a lot of
I have
Catholics
heard
do
of
that,
hot
right?
cross bun.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you nothing about it.
Okay.
What
so
we would make Christmas, we would have eggnog. We would do eggnog. Look, this is going to be some real black shit. Chitlins. Ooh. I never had chitlins, but that was something. Christmas and Thanksgiving.
We never did that. That is one thing.
Yeah, some black. I can tell you,
I ate chitlins.
I've only had it once in my life, and it was with my son's father's family because they're foundationally Black American. But so I've never had chitlins before that, and I was like 30-something years old.
I've never had them either, but I could have had them 30 times over. I just chose not to eat it. But
they're not bad.
They probably not. It's I'm a smells person and I'm a texture person. So the smell, when my grandma would cook them every Thanksgiving, as a child, I didn't care for the smell. And then you got to put hot sauce on it. Look kind of slimy. Wasn't for me, but that's some black, but that's the Christmas, eggnog, chitlins.
Machine.
Sometimes we would do a ham. What machine say?
We do ham. We do ham. We do turkey.
Oh, brother.
I don't know. I think it's no machine. I really think it's like tradition because my family, I come from a upper middle class background. So it wasn't we would cater Thanksgiving often. but somebody was still gonna cook a pot of chitlins. I just think it was just tradition, just a tradition thing. And I was cool on it. I said, nah, no thanks for me. But yeah, she said it's trifling. It's just I think it's just a cultural thing. But yeah, that was our yeah, we would do chitlins, eggnog around the holidays. I'm trying to think of like holiday food. That's it. Yeah. One time my mom made some rum balls. I think that's a Caribbean thing. No, y'all make something called black cake. Black cake.
Yep,
Yeah, I'm
we do.
familiar. I'm familiar with Jamaican
It's like
black
rum cake.
Yes,
It's made
and
out
my
of
mom
rum.
made some rum balls. I think she just saw a recipe online and they were pretty good.
Okay.
But that was it. That
Sorrel.
was too good.
Wait, excuse me, I forgot something. Thank you,
Yes.
Boana. I forgot to add that we do drink this drink called sorrel. It's hibiscus. It's like hibiscus tea, but it's like a drink we make,
Ooh,
and you
that
can add
sounds
liquor to it. It's really good. If you ever come to Florida, I'll have my family make you some. But yes, we do drink sorrel. I almost forgot about that, Boana. Thank you for reminding me.
Okay.
And you know what? I like that you said in Florida that the Black Americans had to unite with the Black immigrants because of the Cuban supremacy. Unfortunately, I don't like the Cuban supremacy, but I like that, that there was a unification going on. Yeah, shout out to Florida. Now, for me, as far as language, accents, fashion, music, where do we clash? Where do we blend? I don't think there's any blending. I genuinely, okay, it's like you said, patois, Jamaicans, they speak any first generation Jamaican, they will be able to understand that. Me, I have to pay attention. I used to listen. I told y'all I like a lot of cultures. So I'm probably one of the few FBAs that you will meet that will tell you that they listen to reggae music coming up. I listen to 90s reggae. I listen to Bougie Bonton. I listen to Barrington Levy. I know the songs.
You know more than me, Kelly.
I do. So that's what I knew what a coolie was. What's
Don't say that word. That's a bad word.
No, it's
bad
not.
Yes, it is a bad word. It's offensive towards Indian people in Jamaica. Just so you know.
Well, why do
you probably
why
can
do
say
they
it, but
okay, well I've heard them say it. I've heard
because they were using it in an offensive way.
But what is that person called? Because this is what I always thought a coolie was. I thought a coolie was
an Indian. They're Indian.
But they also they're Indian, but they Black and they Chinese too.
No, Chinese Jamaican is something else. Coolie is just Indian.
Well, I don't know. They done told me they.
Bawana said it. It's like saying the N-word for Indians. Thank you, Bawana. See, Bawana, you know your stuff.
Then why? Okay, then a coolie told me about. I knew this girl. Her family was Guyanese. I believe you, Nora. Let me be clear. If you tell me that,
yeah, I'm not saying you don't believe. And honestly, Kelly, no one's probably gonna like look down on you for saying it. But we're talking about a cultural, show right now. So it's the only reason why I'm correcting you.
I would not have known because I've heard people say it, and I knew a Guyanese girl. I think she was a coolie. I think because
she would,
whatever.
Yeah, she would be who we would consider a coolie as
but
far
she
as in
don't
Jamaica.
look like she did not straight up look. Okay, so you got Indians, like Indians from India.
Mm-hmm.
They look kind of different. They look like they're Indian, but kind of Blacker, if that makes sense. Am I making sense?
They're mixed. Like Kamala Harris, I don't believe. So I'll say this: I do believe Kamala Harris probably had like 10% like African in her per se, but they're it's like a melting pot. Like so, I get what you're saying. Like they have some African influence in them. So yeah, so they're not like the Indians you see here necessarily.
Thank you, because she didn't look straight up like India for me. Like I don't know, like people from Guyanese. It's a blend, like you say. It's a blend going on. But the only thing I could see where we blend, I think some things. I'm really trying to think now. I think Black Americans, I think Caribbeans, and I think Africans all have strong familial ties. That's the only similarity that I can think. Bowana, I am from Maryland. I'm FBA. Yes, I'm from right outside of DC, and my parents are Washingtonians, native Washingtonians. So yeah, I don't. That's the only thing I could see where we blend is the familial the familial similarity, but language is different. Faith. Well, you know what? Christianity. A lot of Nigerians, most Africans I know, Africans are usually either Muslim or Christian. And I would think that's the same with Black people. I think most Black people, they're either Christian, Muslim second. And I think Jamaica, Caribbean, I haven't even heard of too many Muslims from I always just heard Caribbeans were Christian.
A lot of Muslims are in Guyana, like you said, like those places. But for the most part, in Jamaica and certain Caribbean countries, they are Christian. They're Catholic, in particular, and Christian, and also 7-day Adventist.
Oh wow, I didn't know that. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, so I have another clip from. This is from Yvette Carnell. I adore Yvette Carnell.
You know she got me blocked.
Why?
Tell me why. Tell me why.
If you want to share, if you don't want to share, that's fine. I don't know why she would block you.
I don't give a rat's ass. I don't know why she got me blocked though. She just got me blocked.
Oh well, what's that guy's name? The little short tether man that you talk about, Kelly. Roland Martin has us blocked.
Roland Martin.
Roly Poly has us blocked because we made a video making fun of him.
I don't know why that y'all want the same thing. That's very weird. I hope she don't block me.
Consider Umar Johnson to be probably the funniest Pan-African comedian out there. He is the funniest political Pan-African comedian on the block, bar none. Nobody does it better than him. The best comedian in the game, the best Pan-Africanist comedian in the game. Nobody. However, the problem that comes into play is when you start taking that person seriously. Now, part of the problem happens is that we do debates too long. We take too long with debates. So we'll talk about, well, let him see. Let's see what he can do. Now, if it's a debate about me, hey, it's a bunch of people that can decide. I'm finished like 2 weeks in. I don't like it. I didn't like it. But with everybody else, we decide we gonna figure out what this stuff is, and we're going to let it go for 10, 15 years. I am just telling you what it is. You can like it or not. You can hate it. I'm just telling you what a thing is.
Look, okay, so I saw this and I said she's spot on because this is where I'm at. This Pan-African stuff, it's dead. It's over. Let's put a nail in this coffin. It didn't work. You Pan-Africans, you're like that daggone movie Mean Girls. Stop trying to make fetch happen. Pan-Africanism is not going to happen. Fetch didn't happen. Okay, let's move on from it. Like they're still going on with this stuff. They still say African, and they're talking about me. They're talking about Bowana in the chat. They're talking about T.O. They're talking. Fatty's probably gone right now. Fatty, that's our Fatty's over in Portugal doing his thing. Shout out to Fatty. But they're putting us all in this African category. And like I said earlier, okay, my family's from America. Okay. If I tried to pull up my tree on Ancestry, but it's all weird looking. I don't look African. That's nothing wrong with Africans. I clearly don't. We look different. We have different background. Where is my phone? It's just stupid. Stop trying to make fetch happen. Shout out to Yvette Carnell. You'll get a shout out, Yvette, when you unblock my FBA brother Kamal, because Kamal didn't do nothing to you. I don't know why you're out here blocking people. Oh, you still watching? I have done a DNA test. Fatty, would you like to see my DNA test? Since Fatty said it, I will pull up my DNA test. Now, here's the backstory. And we're gonna close up in a second.
No asterisk. No asterisk next to the backstory.
No. Well, here's the backstory. My brother, my friggin' brother. I was gonna say Dummy. Kelly, you don't think you look Nigerian? I'm not gonna hold you, Bawana. I've never seen a light skinned I've seen two light skinned Nigerians. Ratumi, the guy that was on Power, and Jadena. And Jadena was mixed. So that's where I'm gonna leave it.
I was gonna say, yeah, they're probably mixed though. Like, not gonna hold you, Kelly. Like, a lot of them are mixed. Yeah. So, like, does that really count? That?
No, it doesn't count because both of my parents are black. So that's with that. Okay, now I gotta pull up my daggone video for where I did my ancestry. Okay.
There's a video. Wow.
Yeah, I made a video on it.
Kelly fancy. She made a video and everything. Jesus. Yeah. But ancestry don't be right, and I'm gonna tell you why I don't think it's right too when we're done.
Yeah, go ahead while I try to pull this up. Yeah.
When I did my ancestry, they did get right that I'm part Jamaican. I didn't put that I was Jamaican or anything, and they did get right the Nigerian connection was through Jamaica. But then from my father's people, they tried to say that I was like 5 to 10% what's that thing called? Sephardic Jewish or something. And like, knowing my family's history, I don't know how that correlates, just because like my father's ancestors founded Morocco, and I'm a descendant of Muhammad through that. So it was like kind of like it just didn't make sense to me. I'm going to be honest, but yeah.
Okay. Here's why I think it's bogus. One, I know somebody had they took their iguana's DNA and then they sent it in and then some stuff came back and I'm like, wait, that was an iguana. Then, but this, okay, yeah. So Tio says Tio's got a light skinned cousin. This is the thing what they got in Africa too. They be having a lot of
albinos.
Albinos, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the witch doctors be hunting them and trying to cut them up, and because they do stuff with their anatomy with the spells. It's really crazy stuff. But anyway, so my brother did his ancestry, you guys, and the results were shocking. And I mean, it was shocking to me and my light-skinned family, because light-skinned people usually think we're darker than what we are. I went to Howard, so in my brain, I was told black, you're black. So then when it came back really white from my brother, and my brother and I have the same mother and father, I was in disbelief. I was in shock. I didn't believe it. I was like, I don't like this. So I stupidly went and did it. And if I could do it over again, I wouldn't do it, because now my DNA is in some friggin' database somewhere and I'm pissed off about it. But here is my
by the way, Kelly, when you have a kid, make sure that they don't send it off without your permission, because they do that now. And if you want to find out the sex of the kid early, they'll check your DNA. So I'm just letting you know that too.
I'm not doing none of that crap. Thank you for the heads up. I'm not doing none of that. I don't like Big Brother in my shit. So yeah, but Fatty, for you, this is my ancestry. So here it is. Muscle, though, ambition, flow inside my DNA. They're gonna get me. I don't know how that video didn't.
Hey guys, so I'm here with my reaction to them.
Okay, here. Oh, good. I put the timestamp. Shout out to me.
My reaction was so lackluster. It was West African. That is what.
That's it, y'all. That's 62% African.
Originally shocked me when my brother did his, because my brother said 60%. So I was like, what? Like 60%? That's almost like 50%. How are we only half black? Like, that's crazy. But yeah, so that's what I was like, oh gosh. So next it says New World. So I'm like less than 3%. Like North, Central America, South America. That's like Native America and like Latin countries. Which my brother didn't have any of that. So I'm also, it says less than 2%.
You know what that is, Kelly? That's the Native
Asian.
Americans. That's what that stuff is, I think. I think they're tracing it to those countries because it's Native American.
Yeah. I can pull up my Native American ancestor too, so I know
But they
I have.
updated it too, Kel. Like, have you looked since
I
they
have not.
updated
I
it?
have not done. I have
Yeah.
not even checked, and this was like 7 years old. I have not even checked nothing. So yeah, a bunch of
Central
miscellanea.
Asia, Oceania. Oceania is New Zealand and it's like Australia, like those islands. Like I think like Aboriginal islands, which that's crazy.
Aborigines. That's what I meant.
That's crazy.
Aborigines.
I never would have guessed that. And my brother didn't have any Asian either. So next up, Middle Eastern. We both did have Middle Eastern. So his said 2% Middle Eastern. Mine says less than 1% Middle Eastern. 34% European. So his
That's
said
it.
2% Central
That's
Asia.
it. That's it. 62% African. So even right there, it's not that African, fatty. It's not that.
Damn, Kelly, I'm more African than you.
Damn.
It sounds like that Pan-African thing applied to you. How you? I don't believe it, fatty. I told you, I don't believe this stuff. I don't believe it. And the reason, again, well, like Nora's saying, the Native American, blah 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 blah. I can pull up. Let me see if I could pull up the ancestry, the picture. But like, I can trace my multiple Native. Okay, let's see. Let's see if I can.
In the chat. God damn.
What's the chat saying? What are they saying?
A lot of cream in that coffee.
And no, now y'all see why I didn't want to believe this. Now y'all see why when my brother did it, I was all like, no way, this can't be true. And then his wife, who she's darker than us, she's like brown skin. She's like, makes sense to me.
Yeah.
I'm like, get out of here, lady. But in our head, like, I don't know, you're I don't know what I thought it would. I don't know what I thought it would say, but I did not think that's what it would be. Okay, let me see. How do I pull this up? Because I got to show y'all. And again, it's all love, fatty. I told y'all people like me. I like everybody. Okay, how do I do this? Go to the tree. Oh, wait, let me go back. Go 1,400 people. Okay, here we go. Double head. Double, because y'all going to see
double head.
That's my Native American ancestor. One of them.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Yeah, I'm trying. Let me.
That's really cool, Kelly. That you got that. I think you have to. Oh, you have the pro.
Oh, here it is. Here it is. Dorcas, because I remember Dorcas.
Dorcas Lightfoot.
Okay, wait. Here we go. Let me stop. Remove and share. Oh wait, add to stage. Okay, so wait, is this it? Is this no, that's not what I'm trying to share. Sorry. Because look, they said because they gonna say you blacks always say you're Native American and you're not. Look, there it is.
I'll give you this, Kelly. You're at least 10 to 15% based on what I'm looking at that in that breakdown, because I think they've updated it since then.
Yeah. So you have this Dorcas Lightfoot. This is my 8th great grand aunt, and then you got who's this person? Hold on. Then you got my 9th great grandfather. He was the chief double head of Cherokee Nation. Let's pull up. Yeah. Then I got another one because I remember Julia. Where's dang it? How do I do that? Here we go. Oh wait, last name Julia. What was her? I can't remember. But I have a ancestor, and I have it's a book written on her. No, it's not Julia Doublehead. I can't find it. Okay, that's not. It's Julia. What is that? Because it's not going. I'm not good at showing it this way. Okay, let me stop sharing. But I have. Where's my other ancestor? Okay, profile. Is this it? Yeah, here we go. Okay. But yeah, to what you were saying earlier, Nora, you definitely can. We trace our ancestors. So this is my 3rd great grandfather. Mm-hmm. This man was white. Okay, so this doesn't go that far back. He was married to common law to Phillips. Who was his wife? No, somebody Phillips. Who was it? Oh, I don't know. No, I do know. Phillips, Emma Phillips, I think was his wife. But I'm gonna show y'all. So this dude, this is my second great grandfather. So this was his son, the white man's son. This man, okay, this man does not look black to me. This person looks like an Indian to me. And he was Indian. So his mom was Indian. So this is, what did I say? Yeah, my second great grandfather, Henry Hampton Phillips. They call him Ham. And his mom was Indian and she was a slave. No. Not his mom. I'm sorry. His grandmother. His grandmother was an Indian. She was a slave. It's a fascinating story. So the white man, John Everhart, because I want y'all to see his son too. The white man's, okay, John Everhart, his daddy, she was Indian. And she, okay, who are these people? No, these people black. That's not what I'm. No, I can't remember. I can't remember who was who. There's so many people. But anyway, the white man, y'all saw that dude. He looked Indian. He had a son. He looked Indian too. And then my dad used to tell me he had an uncle, Uncle Mike, and they would go visit, this family. And he said Uncle Mike looked white. And he was like, where does white come from? Where did white come from? But I guess my father didn't know that Uncle Mike's dad was the white man, John Everhart. It's a lot. But my point is, you heard me say white, you heard me say Indian, you didn't hear me say no African nowhere up in there. So I don't know. But yeah, it's just a lot of white. Like if I go back, if I was to show y'all, and it's hard to do it on a computer, it was so much white, y'all. It was so much white. It was like one of my ancestors was like related to the Queen of England. Or like she was crazy. Let me try to pull it up. The Queen. Let's see if I can pull it up. If it's going, yeah, here we go. Cause y'all gonna think I'm lying, and then I'm gonna wrap this up because I know it's getting boring. But here we go. Here it is. My 15th great grandfather, Sir Knight John Bourne Stewart Jr., Master von Buchan, Lord Archer House, Secretary of Queen Mary of England. Okay, and they had a whole lot of stuff going. Then you had, who's the other person? Oh, this other person was related to the Queen. Okay. Sir John Wolseley, born Secretary of the Queen of England, blah, 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 blah. This is my 16th great grandfather. So my point with showing y'all this is because they try to say we don't have no culture or heritage. I traced my family all the way back to the old country. My people was here in the friggin' 1600s, so that's why I say that, the African thing, I couldn't trace it to no Africa. I traced it to Europe, and it's a bunch of European countries, but whatever. I'm not going to bore y'all. We could do that. That's a show for another day. T.O. says, but y'all don't think Africans didn't mix with the natives when the Africans landed here. I do think that. I 100% believe that, T.O. That's what I think. I think some African slaves came over on the ships, and I think some Black people in the tribes did come from Africa too. And I think they mixed with white people, and I think they mixed with the indigenous people, and I think they mixed with the Africans too. I think everybody was mixing, and I think certain areas of the country had more mixing than others. This going to sound crazy, but y'all just hear me out. I think where I'm from in Maryland, I think it was more mixing than it was in certain areas of the South. I've been to the South. I didn't see that many light-skinned people 20 years ago. I just didn't. I'm not going to lie to you. My best friend, her and I are not related. She's fair-skinned. We have certain like phenotypes where black people in the South, they be darker. I don't know. So I just think where I'm from, it was just more mixing than it was, in the South. And there actually has been, because I talked to one of my girlfriends, y'all know Mika. I talked to Mika about it. She actually had data to support what I'm saying, because this was always just a theory of mine. But yes, T.O., I do think they was mixing. I definitely think they was mixing. Thank you, Jacqueline. I'm glad you find it interesting. Botswana, the old country, I can tell you, it was England, it was Scotland, it was Germany, it was Sweden was on my ancestry. A lot of white countries, though, that, when the white people say, oh, the old country, like when the Italians be like, oh, I can trace my ancestors back to the old country, they mean Italy or whatever. So yeah. Kelly, you look Burundi. I don't even know what that is, Botswana. I don't know what Burundi is. Burgundy? What's that? I'm not trying to be funny. What's Burundi? I never heard of that.
That's something in India, right? That's like a group in India, I think.
No, it's like an African tribe, I think, right? Is that what it is, Botswana?
The tribe?
Yeah, I think it's like a type of tribe.
Botswana's trying to gaslight me. I have never.
She really messing with you tonight. She keep talking about where's the 62%.
I have never and this the thing. South people from South Africa, they don't look like East Africans. They don't look like it's a whole continent. So I don't know, Botswana. I don't know.
They saying it's African.
Oh, he's an East African. Now I know you a daggone liar, because I know what East Africans look like. They all look the same, and I don't look like them. And I'm not. It just is what it is. Y'all can call me racist. It is what it is. I think a lot of black people be looking the same, and I think a lot of racists be looking the same. Some of the people. I don't think so, Botswana. I don't believe you. And the East Africans I've seen, they got their own look. Somali,
Google it. Pull them up. Type in Google. Type in the people of Burundi and see what they look like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's just prove a point before we close. If you look like them, Kelly, then you gotta admit you look like them. But if you don't, then
I know that. I know the Burundi people.
Now, if she would have said like a North African country, like Egyptian or something, I could see that. Yeah. I could see that.
These people way darker than me.
Now go to images.
But then, go to images. Let's be fair. Don't just look at one picture. Hell no.
Okay.
No.
Like, no shade. Kelly doesn't look like that. And I'm not trying to be rude.
It's not shade. They are beautiful people. They are beautiful people. They have red. I love the reddish undertones. I think Haitians have a certain look. Haitians be kind of red. These people actually, they look like Africa and India had a baby.
Or even Rwanda, Kelly, if she would have said that, because the Rwandans, they have lighter skinned Rwandans. So I could see that too, because that was the whole reason why. Yes, why they had that whole war where they were killing them because of the war, the darker and lighter skinned people.
I thought it was the Tutsis in the
that's them. They were beefing.
I thought one was short and one was tall. I thought that's
it has to do with their skin too.
I believe
Tazines, or you could even be Ethiopian. I could see that too. That's a good point.
No, I've seen Ethiopians. I don't look like not a one Ethiopian. I don't look like
they got lighter ones.
Even the lighter ones, I'm going to say it, they tend to have big foreheads. They have the hairline start back here. No shade. They have beautiful hair.
She's not going to admit it.
She's not going to admit it. They have beautiful hair. Now you lying, Tio, because let's pull up opinions. We'll get to the bottom of this.
Okay.
I have yet to see where are these light-skinned Africans y'all keep talking about? Where they at? I'm that done took me in this.
Other than North Africa. North Africa is the melting pot, so we can't consider them.
And they don't consider them, they consider themselves different than the rest of Africa. I know that much.
Fair enough, yes.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
North African.
You know what? Let's put in Cape Verde because I know that lady. What's the woman with the bald head lady? Y'all know who I'm talking about.
They said you need to go look up European.
No, they right. No, I'm not. That's what I'm saying. Is it only Cape Verde people? Okay.
Okay, right there.
Nah, kind of can see it a little bit. Like, okay. What the? Okay, so maybe this, maybe this, maybe I don't know. Yeah, and the only reason I even thought because I knew what is the broad name? Y'all know I'm talking about the bald head. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
The bald head
With the bald, atheist Nora. Who am I talking about? Amber Rose. Amber Rose, Cape Verdean, and I know Fatty told me his people come from Cape Verde. Fatty not that dark. Fatty think he brown skin. He look kind of light to me. But yeah, this the closest maybe I could see. I don't have light eyes, but my aunt does. I don't know.
I kind of see it a little bit.
Yeah, this the most I could maybe kind of could see. But yeah. So there we have it. Yeah, you was gaslighting me, Bwana. It's all good though. But there she is. Yes, she is from Philly. Yes, she's from Philly. Yeah. Yeah, thank you. That's what I'm saying. Yep, Fatty from his people from Cape Verde. Yep, absolutely. Okay, so what do you think? Last question, and then we're gonna roll out. What do you think, Kamal and then Nora? And this could be your closing remark, and you can add your closing remarks. What do you think? What can we do to bridge a gap? Because we've already established the differences. What do you think we can do to bridge the gap? And I'm not saying we all come together as one. I'm just saying come together as neighbors because we all are in America. So what can we do to bridge a gap? Kamal and then you, Nora.
What can we do to bridge a gap? One, y'all need to start calling out y'all coon class. I'm sorry. Start calling out your tether class that's undermining us. Y'all need to do that shit. You feel me? Two, go fight the oppression that's happening to y'all in y'all country. And if you are Americanized, you better be fighting for us to get reparations. Because we get reparations, all the other black diaspora countries are going to get reparations too. It's going to be a domino effect. I don't understand when y'all be fighting against us to get these things. Reparations, anti-black hate crime bills. Because if we get it, you know how we get down. Y'all all gonna get it too. But y'all don't like money? Y'all don't like justice? Like, I just don't get that shit. That's how we could bridge the gap. Call out y'all damn coon tether class. You feel me? And also, our issues that's in the States, not only fight for those, but fight for it in where your homeland lineage come from. You feel me? That's how we bridge the gap. Other than that, we're gonna keep drowning in shit if we're gonna keep doing this. You feel me? Or actually, it's a third option too. Y'all could just leave us the hell alone.
Not a bad idea.
There are three options. You feel me? Y'all could just leave us alone. That is that. Either leave us alone, fight for the justices, not only for us Black Americans in the States, but also of y'all homeland lineage. That includes reparations and anti-black hate crime bills in that nature. You feel me? And start calling out your tether coon class, your Sambo class. Like we call out our American grown, homegrown Sambos and tethers and bootlicks. Y'all got to do the same thing. That's how we bridge this gap.
Thank you. Okay. Nora.
Man, how do I follow up with that? Okay, so let me say this. I want to recognize some of the, I guess, hateful things that some immigrants do. And I'm going to lead with that. However, I do think we have more similarities than we do have differences. I don't want to sit there and say the whole Pan-African thing, because obviously it's not landing in America. It may be around the world, but it's not landing here. So I think the first step as Americans is to recognize that there is a right that needs to be wronged for foundationally Black people, and that's reparations. I think if we united collectively and we supported that, I think we could unite collectively and just be united as a people. Until then, I understand where foundationally Black Americans are coming from, because this is something that they're entitled to. And if we want to call ourselves Black in this country, this should be what we are supporting. And I'm going to land there and land my plane.
All right. That was good. Okay. So for me, and Tio asked in the chat, who is undermining? Tio, you're normal. You're not a tether. So you don't see it. You don't get it. Me and Kamal, we see it online. Okay, that's for one. we see it online, but then we see it with certain policies. And I'm going to be honest with you. I place blame where it lies. And for me, I need to put on a little filter because I don't have no makeup on. For me, I'm gonna place the blame first within my own community. Black people, we have to get on code. We have to get on code, because if we get on code and we figure out, hey, we're not African Americans, let's leave that label, because we can't even come together and with one label, you know. So the fact that we're not in one accord, well, then you have, you know, these Black immigrants that can say, well, you don't have a culture, because they can say that because you got half black people, half the population saying African American. Well, if you say African American, well, then we don't have a culture, because we can't trace the culture back to Africa. So that's one. So first, we have to come together. Our community, we have to get on code. We have to recognize we're different. And then, like what Kamal said, I would appreciate, and y'all don't do it because this don't even pertain to you. If you watch the show, this don't even pertain to you. But you will have the tethers where, you know, half the time they will say, "Oh, well, I'm Black, I'm Black, I'm Black, I'm Black American," and then in the next breath they're talking about FBA. So which one is it? If you're talking about FBA, then you know that you're separate. So why are you saying you're Black and you're a Black American? No, you're not, because if in your home country, you're not called anything, because everybody looks like you. You're just a Nigerian. You're just a Kenyan. You're whatever the flick. So that's what they do. They will, in one breath, they say that they Black American because they are melanated and they're an American citizen, but then the next breath they talking about back home. So pick a lane, stay in it, and you know you gotta call them. You know, gotta call them out. That's my opinion. You don't have to listen. Or the third option, like Kamal said, y'all could just leave us alone.
We should have let Bawana call in, because he talking about we need to talk to real immigrants that's in America. Motherfucker, you don't think we talking to immigrants?
I'm kind of offended. I'm not Black enough. I'm not this. I mean, I think I'm first generation American. I was raised in a Jamaican household. And actually, culturally, if we want to talk about culture, I consider myself culturally more Jamaican than I do Moroccan. I wasn't raised with Moroccans. I was raised here in America with Jamaicans. So I'm like, God damn. Thank you, Kamal.
You know what? And Tio says we got tribalism in our countries. That's what I'm saying. It's 5,000 ethnic groups in Africa, 55 countries, yet somehow Black people are still using the term African American. Why are you using the term African? Again, it's 55 countries. It's stupid. It's stupid. That's a hill I will die on. It's not offensive. It's when I say it's not offensive, I'm fine with an African saying they're African American, saying they're Nigerian American, whatever. It offends me as a Black American because that's not my culture. My culture's here. And when you and let me be clear, I'm not that friggin' sensitive, but it's annoying to me because it's like you're trying to erase my American side by putting in the African. No. I didn't immigrate. A Nigerian American, they immigrated here. My people been here probably, I told y'all, my people was here before the country even existed. And that's just the truth. Thank you, machine. It's dumb. All right. I was looking in the chat. But anyway, thank you all for coming. I appreciate the chat. Before I let y'all go, Nora, tell us what you got coming up and where can the folks find you?
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much. Chat, you guys were amazing. I am the host and producer of the New Party podcast. You guys can check us out on YouTube at the New Party. We are doing a daily live stream where we discuss Diddy and give updates regarding that. Monday through Thursday, we do live stream at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you can check us back out Thursday night. I don't know the topic yet. Probably be something what's going on in the Middle East. That seems to be what's trending this week.
Yes. Okay. Now, Kamal.
Well, what's good with y'all, man? Shout out to my FBA family. You feel me? Y'all was in the chat. New people that was in the chat. Y'all was killing me, man. Purge the BS. You funny as hell. Machine. You was clowning too. That was hilarious. But wanna quit crying, bro. God damn. Oh, I'm not motherfucker. Quit crying, bro. God
but
damn.
what? That's your people.
I'm saying in my chat, in my link, you know how I do my show. Why you crying, bro? God damn. Jesus Christ.
Look, but you know what? You watch most of the show, so you got no quarrel with me. We need them stream numbers, Bawana. So shout out to you.
Shout out to Bawana, but damn it, bro, you on my side of the chat. Like, damn, you crying, I'm calling you motherfucker. Jesus Christ, bro. Anyway, shout out to the chat though. Y'all's killing it today. Anyway, if y'all want to find me, y'all can find me Kamal Johnson Network, or you can also type in the Shadow Band Man. I talk about a lot of current events. Also talk about pop culture here and there. Yeah, and I'm for my foundational Black American people and my Black American people and Black people on goddamn code. That's all I gotta say. And shout out to Kellie and Nora. You feel me? And I ain't gonna lie, I can see why Bawana think this way. We didn't have no like other Caribbean, like I guess immigrants at all on the panel, and that ain't our fault, Bawana. Shit,
I reached out to a Jamaican friend.
I'm not Black enough. I'm not Jamaican enough. I'm not Caribbean enough. God damn.
Look,
it's not the show, bro. You're what it is. You on my chat. So I'm assuming that you done watch my show before.
No, he said this is the first time he been on.
Bro, hey, shit, man.
It's all good, Bawana. I hope you come back and look. Since you in Kamal's chat, you might as well go ahead and subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. He puts out good content. For me, you guys can catch me tomorrow, noon Eastern Standard Time, 11 Central Standard Time on the Don't Piss Me Off morning show with me, Black and Talks with 2K. Why is my little head line not coming up? Tomorrow, y'all, we are going to be talking about Tyler Perry. This is breaking news. Tyler Perry has been sued over sexual assault by the Oval actor. So this is breaking news. That's going to be our headline story. We're going to have a Kiki over there. Jacqueline, hope you can pull up. T.O., if you're not too busy, pull up. Again, we have a lot of fun, but that's the headline and story, and that is trending right now. This is crazy stuff. Let me see what T.O. said before I let y'all go. Y'all do have a culture. Africans just say that as a clapback when Black Americans come for them. You're not, look, T.O., Black Americans and Africans have been dueling since forever, probably since the 60s when they started coming over here, because I remember hearing some of the not so nice things a lot of Black Americans would say to Africans. I'm not going to say it on this show, but they would say some really nasty things. And it's just everybody does it. The Chinese beef with the Japanese, the Haitians beef with the Dominicans, You know, everybody beefs with everybody. That's what we do. Nora said it best. Let's all come together and get rid of these illegals, and then we can go back to hating each other.
This person wanted you to bring someone else. I wasn't giving y'all enough heat. That's the problem. I was on code. I was being respectful. Maybe I should have said I don't support reparation. You know, that's not how I feel. Baby Bonner would have liked me then. They wanted me to be like a tether. That's what I think. I think if I would have said the normal tether shit. No, I'm serious. I would have fit the criteria for them.
But
because
you know what?
I'm not gonna lie.
But that's one person. Everybody else that's in the chat that is immigrant, they're all on code with us too. You see Jacqueline in the chat, T.O.'s in the chat. You know, Fatty be going hard for Black Americans than a lot of these freaking other lefties. I will because I've heard him say stuff on Anton's panel where he's like, no, you know, black people.
I have too. I've heard Fatty defend Black people like a lot. Like when there's certain, I don't want to say coonish things, but like like I've heard him defend it.
He does. I've heard it. Because he's on the left, and then he will be going at Black conservatives that are not very pro-Black. I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it on this show because it's my damn show. Me and Dana with the data, we're probably the blackest Republicans you going to find.
Only conservatives. Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say Black, meaning we for reparations. I'm not putting any other Black conservatives down, but we for reparations. We don't say anti-Black stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like her and me, I'm not saying look, this like everybody else. This is my show. That's how I feel. Me and Dana with the data. We pretty Black up on over here, and we are Republicans. Where a lot of other Black conservatives, they talk a lot of tether babble, and that's just what it is. And Fatty will go and will challenge them. And Fatty, shout to Fatty. He's even said it himself, like, "Oh, you're pretty pro-Black," and I'm like, "You darn tootin', yeah." So that's that.
You one of the only conservatives that don't speak that coon dialect. God damn, man.
That's what I'm saying.
That coonanese when it comes to the right conservative wing Black people, man. And shout out to the ones that's on code, you feel me? Shout out to y'all.
Yes.
And Buwana, man, shout out to YouTube, bro.
Shout out to you, Buwana, yeah.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Even though you're like, don't call me motherfucker. My name.
Oh, I ain't even see all that. Yeah. Yeah. But look, he stayed the whole time. Hope he learned something. And if he didn't, it's cool too. You still watch the show, so it's all love because you could be anywhere right now and you're here watching us, and we appreciate it. Machine says Koreans and Japanese beef all day. That's what I'm talking about. Dominicans and Cubans. But for whatever reason, we gotta come together with everybody else because we both melanated. No, man, leave us alone. We're separate. Thank you, boy. It's a great show. I appreciate you. But again, check out Nora Christine 26, also at the new party. Kamal Johnson Network, Kamal the Shadow Band Man Johnson, me, Kellie, Corinne. I don't know if I'm gonna do my own live tomorrow, but again, I will be live tomorrow. Don't piss me off morning show. We're talking about Tyler Perry. It'll be hilarious. So that is it, you guys. And again, I appreciate you both for spending the time. I know we went over. I was trying not to, but I really appreciate your time.
We appreciate you, Kellie, for real.
Yes. All right. Let me
Thank you for having me.
Of course.